and welcome to Connected, episode 572. Is made possible this week by our sponsors, Squarespace and Fitbod. I am your reigning Relay co-founder champion, and I'm here with my friend Myke Hurley.
That isn't actually a real thing that you can just keep doing.
I mean,
this isn't part of the Connected introduction rules.
It's not forbidden from the rules.
It's true, but we have rules, and these aren't in the. This not say
we're
in the
a society.
Rules. So, welcome back to summer.
Yes.
Federico's not here this week, and Stephen's not here next week.
Also true.
But I will be here for you in all the weeks.
You are our rock.
Mm-hmm. Like Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
That one? Cool.
Doesn't he have a new movie coming up? I saw something the other day.
Smashing Machine. This is The Rock's attempt to try and get an Oscar nomination.
Oh, okay, buddy.
So it's an A24 movie.
Okay.
And he plays a UFC fighter, Mark Kerr. It's like based on a true story. This is The Rock's I'm going for it. If he's ever gonna get seen as a real actor, it will be this movie because The Rock can play someone who fights. You know? So we'll see. I mean, I haven't seen it. I probably won't see it. I don't really know what the reviews are like, to be honest. I haven't really paid that much attention to it. But yeah, that is a thing that's happening.
I guess normally there's a movie and The Rock just shows up in it basically as himself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck, everybody.
He's trying. He's really trying. He did face prosthetics and he dropped a bunch of weight.
I saw that. I saw a picture of him and it was at I guess the premiere maybe, and I was like, whoa, what happened here?
Yeah, he dropped a bunch of weight. It's he's still in obviously fantastic shape, but the guy that he's playing is just not as bulked up as Dwayne Johnson is.
Sure.
And so he had to get into a different kind of
that's
shape.
what I did for the podcastathon, right? I was ripped until August. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to physically dominate everybody.
Hence the physical domination, because I didn't do that. I stayed ripped, obviously.
Yeah.
I stayed absolutely jacked, and so no wonder it happened. You're just better with a sledgehammer than me.
I am better at a sledgehammer than you.
No, most people.
Follow up. We talk about AirPods 3?
Mm-hmm.
Cameron wrote in, I seem to remember Federico buying aftermarket foam tips for the AirPods Pro before. How do they compare with the old AirPods versus the 3s? Federico? Oh, he's not here.
Luckily, I've also bought these, so I can't speak to this.
I opened Notion today to remove this, and I was like, oh, Myke made a comment. Great.
Yeah. I just didn't like them. So these were by a company called Comply. I think these were for the original AirPods. They've made them for all of them.
Sure.
I ended up not using them because I found it just didn't feel like a nice experience to me because they're actually quite different. So you would squish these down and you would put them in your ear and they'd form into your ear like an earplug, like a foam earplug. They were more like that. AirPods Pro 3 tips are much firmer. It is not a squishy foam at all. There's actually an iFixit teardown that I meant to look at. I'll put it in the show notes, but I forgot to look at it before the show. But they did a teardown of AirPods 3. But I don't need to look at that to know that the foam is very firm because that's how it feels. So they're very different. To call it foam is not actually, I think, doing a good job of explaining to you what it is. Does that make sense? You have an idea of what foam is, and I think people think more like the Comply, like an earplug that you would put in to sleep with. But it is not like that. It's very dense because these are much firmer.
Yeah. I looked through it, and there's one image where they cut, I guess, sideways into the tip and then put it under a microscope. And yeah, it looks really dense up close. I am still really struggling with them. My return window closes on Saturday, and I think they're going to go back. I've tried different sizes. I heard y'all on Upgrade, no, you just need some more time, and they're just uncomfortable to me. And so I think I'm going to ride out the 2s for a while.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I've gotten used to it, and I like them in most scenarios, but it's not. They are a downgrade for me in some areas. If I'm say sometimes at night I'll watch some kind of YouTube video to help me go to sleep. That's just where I am in my life, and I cannot rest my ear directly on the pillow because it's painful. It presses in and it's painful, and I didn't have that with the AirPods Pro 2. So it's interesting. Like, it's really interesting. I'm the thing that I'm not getting my head around fully is like, what were they trying to solve? And it seems like that they just made so many decisions to try and improve noise cancellation, and I just don't know that they needed to change the product so significantly to do that. I'm not really sure what that's about, but
yeah. And unlike a lot of other products they sell, like, you can't get the AirPods Pro 2. Like, they're gone. So now it's AirPods 4, AirPods 4 with ANC, AirPods Pro 3.
This is why, for me, like, this is just how I operate in a lot of things. I know I could keep using my Pro 2. They're fine. But I'm not, I have to just let go because they're not going to go backwards.
Yeah.
So, or if they do with the AirPods Pro 4, then great. But like,
that's going to be 2 years down the road.
I'm not one of these people who's like, I'm going to stockpile a bunch of AirPods now. No, I'm just going to use them because they are good in a bunch of spots. And so I'm fine with it in most instances. It's just a regression in some areas, but I can live with it.
Moving on, we spoke about the Windows XP Crocs a while back, and we had a listener reach out and offer to ship us each a pair, and they are here. I need to ship them to you.
You desperately do. I've noticed you've hoarded the Crocs, if I'm being honest. I've been a bit annoyed about this, but you know, you do your thing.
All right, I will do it this weekend. There's a picture in the show notes. They are incredible. I put mine right on the shelf. I will never wear these.
This is like,
they're a museum piece.
These are like, this is a good like influencer moment. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't like available. Like, if you got these things, it's like, oh, you got the inside, which we actually do. You know, somebody got us pairs, and so I want them, and I will wear these. They're not a museum piece for me. I'm gonna wear these things. These are gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna wear them for, but I will wear them. I love Crocs, man. They're so good. But you can now win them. So this is the thing, you can't even buy them. So this was previously, I think, available to Microsoft employees to buy. And now I have a sweepstakes going on. I'll put a link in the show notes to a Verge article. So you can get your own clippy infused XP Crocs, just like Stephen has in his I don't know, what's the phrase that I'm looking for? He's like waving it in front of me in Federico's face as he wears them. Keeping it away from us, keeping our Crocs at arm's length.
So thank you to our listener who hooked us up. It was very kind of you. They are incredible. You spoke about watchOS 26 and liquid glass, and you're back on the Apple Watch. What's going on?
Yeah, so when we spoke last week, I just kind of got back to wearing my Apple Watch again, and I just had a couple of additional things to say now being back on it after having not worn one for I feel like it's nearly a couple of months. Having timers back on my wrist was really good. I was having to just like remember times of things. You know, it's like, okay, it's 10:24. I need to come back at 10:29 to take this out of this boiling pot or whatever. So I like having that. One of the things that I did I did over the weekend is I disabled the notifications from literally as many apps as possible in the Watch app on the phone to really try and like pare that down, which is good. I like having fitness tracking back. I think ultimately I'm not going to be renewing my subscription to Whoop.
Okay.
So once my year is up, which is soon, I'm just going to let that go. Ultimately, I don't really need to be wearing two things because they do report things differently. And with all of these smart devices, like, you're never actually getting fully accurate information. It's all just like you're just all going from a reference point, right? So like, you know, this will say your heart rate was elevated and this won't. But then another day, this one will and this one won't. And it's like, well, none of this is accurate enough to give you proper readings. So you kind of just got to stick with one of them, and I just will stick with the Apple Watch because I do believe at least that Apple's probably got this one taken care of. And also, you know, for all the reasons that I watch Apple's keynotes and feel guilty about not wearing an Apple Watch, like I know that they do a good job of like hard stuff or whatever. There's a couple of things. So one of the issues one of the main reasons I stop wearing the watch is because my child loves looking at the watch and grabbing the watch. That's still happening. Cinema mode mostly handles it for me, and what I have done is build a shortcut that will toggle cinema mode and assign it to the action button on the Ultra.
Okay.
So as soon as she starts grabbing it, I hit the button. I wished it would turn the screen off immediately, like you have to do that thing where you cover the screen to get it to go off.
Yeah.
But then it's off, and she's not as drawn to it then. So that works great. Also, 26. Oh, let me answer this question and then make another point. So Will wrote in and said, reduced transparency can be toggled within the accessibility settings inside of the Apple Watch. For me, this looks way better on the smaller display. This is about me not liking the way that liquid glass looks. I will say there has been a tweak in, I think, 26.0.2 or 0.1 where some elements have been more frosted. Like the passcode UI was the thing that I thought looked absolutely atrocious. They've now kind of frosted that more than it's like glossy, and it looks way better. I would like them to do the same to notifications on the Apple Watch, and maybe they will. I don't know. But one thing that I've noticed, which I don't really understand what's going on here, is the notifications for the Due app are just totally busted. So I get a notification, and it should have 4 options, right? For like snoozing it for like 10 minutes, an hour, a day, or whatever I have. They don't show until I scroll the notification. Like they just don't show at all. Like the UI is just not loading. It's very strange. I don't know whose problem this is. Like, is it too many options and Apple's breaking, the notifications breaking, or does the developer need to do something? I don't know. But like the watch for me is like the worst place for the redesign. I know people are really focusing on macOS, but like for me, it's the watch. Like there are so many elements on the watch that just don't look right. It just does not look right. But yeah, back on the Apple Watch. I would say the Photos face is just the best. Oh my god, it does make the Apple Watch worth wearing. The Photos Watch face, the Photo Shuffle face, put people you love in it, and it's just like every day I'm greeted with a selection of images like completely at random. It's fantastic.
September is almost over here on October 2nd.
I don't think that's how that works.
It runs until October 6th because that's when Relay for St. Jude 2025 gets wrapped up.
I feel like September is getting longer every year.
It's always like the Monday after the end of September. That's how we've done it for years.
I don't know.
It's because some employee matching stuff takes a few extra days. And so if you're waiting on that or something, now's the time to look into it. We passed our goal of $700,000 the other night, which was absolutely just incredible. I was just sitting in my office, like refreshing the page. Very cool to have that met.
Yes.
So thank you all for supporting St. Jude once again. And you got a few more days to do it if you haven't been able to do it yet.
Yep. So it's at stjude.org/relay. We won't do the whole thing. You've heard us talk about it. But if for any reason this is a reminder for you to make the donation you've wanted to make, please get it done because you haven't got long left.
Mm-hmm. We have a little Relay for St. Jude follow-up. So during the co-founder quiz in the podcastathon, it was revealed that I have been on 19 podcasts on Relay.
Okay.
And someone in the Discord asked Kate, our historian, what those were, and I have the list. Are you ready?
So this is what, though?
This is
like
shows
guest?
that I have been a guest on.
Okay.
Analog, B-Sides, Clockwise, Conduit, Cortex, Focused. I was a guest on MPU before I hosted it. Material, Paper Places, The Pen Addict, Thoroughly Considered, Upgrade, 20 Max, Download, Inquisitive, Less Than or Equal, Parallel, Rocket, Top 4.
Okay, so I realize this is you as a guest. I realize now how I could never have been on more than you.
Because I've been on all of them.
No, because I am the host of most of these.
Yes.
Right? So I cannot guest on them.
And Kate did include that if you count shows that I host or have hosted, the number is 26.
Okay.
Because I kill shows way more quickly than you do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, I guess. Well, thank you for that list.
Thank you, Kate.
Congratulations, I guess, on being on so many shows. I don't understand download. You were there all the time.
Yeah, but I was like producing it, and the idea
But you were
was,
there.
yeah,
Didn't you speak all the time? I don't understand.
not for. I was like what's like you're watching like a late night show. We used to have those in America, and then there was like the guy in the band, and he'd like riff with the host. The idea was that I would be that guy, and it didn't really work. And Jason would never add me as a guest, and it was his show, so whatever. Eventually, I became a guest, and then I think kind of a host towards the end. But it was a weird time. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. So whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim a domain name, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid all in one place. I was recently chatting with someone who is looking to start a little side project, side business, and maybe it'll grow to something awesome, or maybe just going to be a fun side gig. Either way, for this person, they need a website, they need a gallery, and they need to be able to take appointments. And so Squarespace was the obvious answer for them because they have all of those things built in. And that is my favorite thing about Squarespace. All these different tools are built to work together. So take something like SEO. SEO is like a whole world unto itself, and nobody wants to build a beautiful website just for 0 people to see it. That's why every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, so more people find your site through search engine results. And you can offer your services and get paid. From consultations to events to experiences, you can showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Think built-in appointment scheduling, email marketing tools, and more. Plus, keep everything cohesive with on-brand invoices and get paid easily with online payments. So head on over to squarespace.com/connected for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code CONNECTED at checkout for an amazing 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/connected and the offer code CONNECTED to get 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for this, your favorite podcast. Our thanks to Squarespace for their support of Connected and all of Relay.
Unbelievably, it has happened again. A Russian YouTuber has unboxed the new iPad Pro with M5. And I know you're saying to me, but Myke, there is no iPad Pro with M5. And I would agree with you. However, here we are.
Not
They
yet.
have done it. Now, when they did it last time, yeah, it was also unannounced. It was a 14-inch MacBook Pro.
It was.
Okay, and that was with the M4, and that was back in October of last year. So this is odd. What, it was once a year they get this. Who knows what is going on here? But this person, who's based in Russia, is somehow getting their hands on unreleased products in full packaging.
Yeah, that part, I don't know why, but being in the packaging really blows my mind, right? Like, this is not, oh, I took a picture of a component, and like, we see that, right? That's kind of more normal, but this is like next level. Like, you have the thing that's going to ship to people. It's unbelievable.
I mean, so what it suggests is that there is a black market providing product to Russian people. Because Apple doesn't sell products in Russia.
That's right.
That's been going on since the invasion of Ukraine. So I guess people try to get their hands on things somehow, and that black market has expanded to a point that now they can get them early.
Yeah.
And I would guess there's just certain products like this one and like the MacBook Pro where if the revisions are small enough, they maybe produce them in advance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any product they're ramping, right? Like, they're building iPhones well before they hit play on the QuickTime video announcing them.
Yeah.
clearly, at some point, these things get stolen and passed around, and this person has a YouTube channel dedicated to this, I guess. What I keep thinking about is, are there others? Like, is this the only one? Like, there's this person has a hookup. Like, I just don't know. Or is there like a flood of these, and this is like this person has a camera and are willing to do this, and so we see it. It's just very fascinating to me how this could work. I mean, the Apple in China book that came out a few months ago. There's a couple chapters in there about iPhones and like criminal activity around getting iPhones where they're not supposed to be, and like doing replacement scams and all sorts of stuff. Like, there's a whole world out there of people doing things with Apple products that Apple doesn't approve of, and this is maybe the most interesting version of it.
My thought would be that this person has some kind of specific hookup, because I feel like we would see it if it was happening more. Because I think these days people are more excited about potential clout than they are about the fear of getting in trouble.
Yeah, and when you're not in, I mean, they're in Russia. Like, Apple, what is Apple going to do? What can they do?
There's nothing no one can do, right? Like, but you know what I mean? Like, I think you could imagine someone not posting something like this because it's like, oh, I don't, I want to, this is some like illicit activity. I want to kind of keep it to myself. But these days, I think people just prefer instead to post on social media that they got the thing, than do anything than to keep it to themselves. I don't remember exactly how this went down the last time, but this time the video has like an auto-dubbed version in English. I don't know if they even had that before, but my expectation is this YouTuber was more prepared this time for the fact that it was going to go viral, like outside of Russia, because I don't really think that was the expectation before. And so the YouTube account is I'll say Vitals.com.
Sure.
I'm going to do my best at. They are like, this isn't like their only thing. I'm looking at their videos. They get like 400,000 to 2 million views. Like, they are clearly very successful in Russia, right? So like, this is like, imagine if a PhD got an iPad and he just unboxed it, right? It's like, it is something similar to that in a way, I guess. It's a fascinating thing to happen. Now, we do have some details. So they got the 13-inch model. The hardware seems to be mostly unchanged, like as you'd expect. It really is just a processor bump, kind of similar to, it reminds me of the 2020 iPad Pro, right? Where it's like, nothing has changed here, just there is a new processor inside. They ran some Geekbench tests that saw a 12% faster multi-core CPU result, 36% faster on the GPU. This is in line with what we would expect from the A19 Pro's improvements. Like, it's a little bit more than those. I don't know what that says. Maybe it's just the configuration. Maybe it's just because it's in the iPad, they put a little bit more power in there. I don't know, but it is very much in line with the A19, right?
Yeah, it's a little step up, but definitely in line. And we've got Jason's article about the A19 Pro and how it stacks up. And these are assumedly the same cores in the A19 Pro and the M5. So yeah, Apple Silicon continues to march on. And as far as the design, like, the iPad Pro is fantastic. Like, it's thin and light and powerful. I think this current design we're going to have for several years, and I think that's totally fine. Like, I'm not disappointed at all that the iPad Pro is not getting hardware tweaks, at least that we can see from a YouTube video.
But not to be outdone by a Russian YouTuber, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission leaked a bunch of information about leaked some stuff about some unreleased Apple products. So first off, that there is going to be a revision to the Vision Pro. There isn't really any detail here. It's mostly just these are the radios that are in it, and essentially there's not much new there. But any device like this has to be cleared by the FCC.
Yep.
If you have been paying attention to this stuff for long enough, this was like a real problem when the iPhone came out, like originally.
That's why they announced it so far in advance.
Yeah, so they could get the FCC clearance,
Mm-hmm.
so it wouldn't be spoiled. And I believe Apple and the FCC worked together to create like a new system of doing it secretly, which is beneficial for like the whole tech industry because this is how everybody does this stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like sealed documents. Well, this one was accidentally unsealed and then sealed again, and it threw this out. So let me just jump ahead real quick, and then I know you have another story, but as well as this, there was the release of a bunch of model numbers that could correlate to new iPad Pros and MacBook Pros, suggesting that these products are all releasing imminently. And an iPhone 16e schematic was made public.
Yeah.
Now, this is like a completely different thing. My expectation is this comes later, right? Maybe they just hold these on file. I'll read a quote from the 9to5Mac article. The filing included a separate letter in which Apple requested confidentiality for the schematics and block diagrams, and the documents remained online long enough to be noticed and downloaded. I just love that you were able to download a letter where they asked for people not to be able to download it.
That's like the please don't leak our meetings leak, you know?
Yes, exactly. Yes, that is exactly what it's like. And so, I don't know. I guess this is maybe interesting for people who design phones. Like, how did Apple do this? Like, you get that information, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably not like a serious issue in terms of, oh no, like the iPhone 16e is in trouble. I mean, but I also don't understand. Like, I downloaded this, unless you're an Apple attorney, in which case I did not download it. And hypothetically, it is an extremely complicated document of which I understand approximately 0% of.
Well, because you didn't download it, so how could you?
Yeah, how could I know? But people who did, who talked to me privately, I'm a journalist. It's like it's a block diagram of how signals flow through PCBs. Like, it's not how they construct it. You would learn much more about the inside of an iPhone 16e by watching iFixit or somebody else take it apart than this thing. Like, it's not interesting to normal people, except that it leaked from the federal government. And that's what makes it a story, not information revealed in it.
And I guess this is the kind of thing that would sit nicely in a DevonThink database.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, somebody has one.
Yeah, maybe. Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wild. You may think, wait, I saw a headline about the Vision Pro. That's not it. Well, there's more. Don't wait, there's more. The revision of the Vision Pro seems like it's happening, but it's a spec bump. But Mark Gurman is reporting that a full Vision revamp, like a new headset, potentially lighter and cheaper, I think is what everybody wants, that's being set aside, and Apple is prioritizing Meta-like smart glasses. And we have talked about this on and off. You've talked on Upgrade about this on and off. Meta has really they've moved in a very different direction than Apple, and their most recent announcements, I think, are genuinely very interesting. Whatever you feel about Meta, and I certainly have feelings like everybody else does, the technology is fascinating and clearly very different than a thing you put on your face that uses pass-through, right? Like, you're looking through the glasses. The new one has that display that's projected and embedded in the lens.
Yeah, here's something I find interesting about that, right? So that's come out, the Meta Ray-Ban display. It's a terrible product name.
Their names are so bad.
It's really bad. There's no reviews. So they didn't seem to give review units to any outlets. I have not seen a review yet. They're available. You should buy it now. I think it came out like yesterday or something. And I'm seeing like journalists that I follow, they're posting that they're using them, but they all had to go buy them, and there's no reviews. And I find that interesting. So like now people are just using it. Yeah.
Maybe they'll be out soon.
No, they're like the reviews will come, but it's just not. It's typically
the other way around.
Not a good look, right?
Why don't you want reviewers to have it?
Exactly. Before you release the product for people to be able to go and buy. Apparently, it's like a real difficult thing too, where you have to. They will not let you buy it unless you go to a store and do a demo thing. You cannot buy it without that. Like, you have to do it. And this is something I saw Mark Gurman complaining. They're even doing this with journalists, right? Journalists who have already used it, because they're not giving units. They also have to go and do this in-person try-on thing. Because I saw there was he reposted a VR-focused journalist who had already done it and had to fly to a different state to be able to buy to do the try-on so they could buy it. They were allowing people to do the try-ons in advance, but you still couldn't buy it. Interesting. I don't know what that says either. Like,
I mean, the cynic in me thinks like, well, Meta just doesn't want journalists to have access to it.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of like, yeah, but they will though, right? Like, they've all now bought them and are going to review them. It's just like a fascinating thing. I just am seeing a lot of posts on Threads because, again, I've been interested in it, so now I'm just seeing lots of posts about it. People who really are like influencers in this space seem to be excited about the product. So like, it's not like an absolute dud, but also I feel like I need people with a little bit more like level-headedness to tell me what they think, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, but I don't remember how we got into this, but yes, that is a product that is now available.
Okay. Yeah, and it makes sense, I think, for Apple to try to pivot to that. You know, one thing that I think has always been a little unclear, because Apple doesn't talk about strategy or anything until it's in the rearview mirror, and even then, not very often. There's a of course, now everyone says, no, I knew this. Like, this is what I was thinking. Okay, whatever. There's a school of thought that the Vision Pro is a stepping stone to glasses, right? And to do that, for whatever reason, Apple needed to build this incredibly elaborate pass-through system, which is in and of itself pretty amazing. But then they were going to discard it when they could move to something more like glasses. Maybe. What I tend to think is that Apple made the wrong bet, and that AR and VR, like, the Vision Pro blurs those things in a way that I think is sort of strange. But when you're wearing something like these Meta glasses and the demos we saw and the little bit of coverage we've seen, it's not really that at all. Like, it's definitely not VR because you can see the real world. It's you can see things and you get little helpful information along the way, and you have a camera and speakers. Like, that's more in line with what people want and can afford and are willing to wear. And so maybe Apple always saw the Vision Pro as a stepping stone, but if they didn't, then I think that was potentially the wrong call.
No, I think they did. Because, I mean, Tim Cook was always talking about AR. Like, that was always the thing that he was talking about. I think the problem is, and I think these Vision device will show it, it's just like, we're actually really far away from an overall good, compelling experience.
Sure.
Like the Vision Pro is like, Vision OS is an incredible operating system, right? And that's the only way you can do this right now. Like, it has to be a big, heavy VR headset with great pass-through is like the only way that you can bring an experience of that quality, like an iPhone quality experience to your face. Like, we are so far away, like so unbelievably far away from any truly good, like, experience like a phone in glasses. And I expect that they thought they had more time. Like, I expect that Apple thought that they would make the Vision Pro, would keep iterating on it, and then they would be ready. The problem is, Meta have put a lot of money into this, and they have now a suite of compelling products. The thing that they have missed, which they're now, pushing forward on, is the more basic glasses, right? Cameras, speaker, which is the things that people are typically actually wanting to use in the Ray-Bans. They should have had that product already. But I think Apple just thought that they had a lot of time before anyone will be able to bring a compelling AR product to the market. And like, it looks like Meta decided that they would just keep working on it in a way that Apple hasn't. And we could be, like, Meta could be 2-3 years away from like a really good product. Apple might be 5 years away, 10. to get the version that they want. And so I think that the Vision Pro was a good step, and I think that even in a world where we have Apple glasses, there is still a place for a full VR headset to exist, and you need good pass-through on a VR headset. Like, you want that. It's important to the experience. But I think that they have absolutely taken their eye off the ball to create a essentially glasses version of AirPods. Like, that's the thing that they should have already. But I think nobody took Meta seriously, and now they've actually produced something that people like.
Yeah, which is understandable because their last big swing was the metaverse, which didn't go anywhere.
Well, and also they've had absolutely zero success with hardware, and they've tried.
Yeah.
Like, no, people just thought that they just couldn't do hardware because they've tried multiple hardware initiatives over the years, and they've all been killed because they're just not making a product that either A, a product that's good, or B, a product that people are willing to trust. But this is a product that's good enough that people are willing to trust it, to wear it.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Fitbod. When you want to change your fitness level, it can be hard to know where to start. That's why I'm pleased to let you know that Fitbod is an easy and affordable way to build a fitness plan that's just for you. Everyone's fitness path is different, which is why Fitbod uses data to make sure they're customizing things exactly to suit you, adapting as you improve so each workout will be challenging, pushing you to make the progress you want. Superior results are achieved when a workout program is tailored to your unique body, experience, environment, and goals, which are all stored in your Fitbod gym profile. It tracks your muscle recovery so you can avoid burnout and keep up momentum. And to make sure you're learning new movements the right way, you can watch more than 1,000 demonstration videos in the app. That's one of my favorite things about Fitbod. As someone who has struggled with confidence in the gym before, and honestly now, these videos make sure like I have the confidence I'm doing something correctly. And the app is really easy to use. You can stay informed with tools like tracking charts, weekly reports, and you can even share your achievements and personal best with friends and family. And it integrates with your Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatch, and apps like Strava, Fitbit, and Apple Health. Personalized training of this quality can be expensive, but Fitbod is just $15.99 a month or $95.99 a year. You can get 25% off your membership by signing up at fitbod.me/connected. So go now and get your customized fitness plan at Fitbod, Fitbod, fitbod.me/connected for 25% off your membership. Our thanks to Fitbod for their support of the show and all of Relay. I've been doing a little bit of experimentation, Mike.
Okay.
I am a sleep mode user. Like I use Apple's like bedtime wake up alarm thing. I don't do wind down, but it's just like at whatever time it is, the phone is like, okay, I'm in sleep mode, ready to go. But like everybody else, right? The time I go to bed varies, and sometimes I have to take it out of sleep mode because I actually need notifications or something, like if I'm out and about or doing something. But very often I am like heading to bed, but I may want to read or, scroll through the Discord or something before the end of the night. But like everybody else, that can be a temptation to doom scroll or send reels of, fail videos to Myke or whatever it may be.
Just Optimus Prime videos.
Yes, the Linkin Park, what I've done. It's a fantastic meme. Anyways, so I've been thinking about this, and I remembered sort of randomly, we talked about it on the show a couple of years ago, where I encountered somebody who used their iPhone in grayscale, and I asked them about it, and that their idea was, it makes it less interesting to use, and maybe my brain wants it a little bit less. And so I went through the process of setting up a couple of automations that if my phone is in the bedtime sleepy mode, then it is grayscale. And there's a screenshot in the show notes. You can see how to do this. First, you have to set up the color filter in accessibility. There's several different filters for different types of color blindness, but you set grayscale. And then in the automation tab, then you set up a shortcut that just toggles the color filters on and off. And then you can set up automations to, when bedtime starts, toggle it. And when my wake up alarm is stopped, toggle it back. So I also put a control in Control Center to do it manually because sometimes this automation gets confused about what's going on.
Sure.
Anytime you have like a toggle thing, it can get a bit weird. And there may be more elegant ways to do this, but it was kind of a quick and dirty thing. And so I've been doing this for about a month now, and I've really come to like it. Like, it is a good signal to me of like, hey, it's time. Like, the day's over. Put your phone down. Quit looking at work stuff or whatever it might be. And the grayscale really cuts a nice balance because sometimes I'm gonna read in bed, like either on my Kindle or like on my phone in the Kindle app, and grayscale is great for that. Like, I can read and be just fine. But it makes like watching video or like looking at social media actually a pretty bad experience, and that's helpful, I think, if you want to downplay those things in the evening. And so I've been, like I said, I've been doing about a month, and so far I think it's been a success.
What does the phone actually look like? Like, what does it look like? I mean, like, it's everything is it black and white or is it shades of gray?
It's shades of gray.
How many?
A lot.
A lot of shades of gray?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And, okay, you see everything still works the same, right? We're not in, like, you're not changing the refresh rate or anything. Like, you're just, it's just doing what it's doing.
That's right.
And you actually feel like this stops you from wanting to do the things you want to do?
I think it's a reminder more than anything else that, hey, move it along, buddy. I don't think it's like a behavior modification thing. I think it's a reminder.
Why not just do like some parental control-y type stuff?
Yeah, because that stuff is janky and doesn't really work well. And this is what came to mind. So I was like, well, let me try this.
So where do I go? I want to see what it looks like.
Yes. So if you go to, let me grab my phone. If you go to settings.
Yeah.
And then accessibility.
Yeah.
Display and text size. And then scroll down, almost all the way down, there's a color filter section.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And you can play with the different
color
ones.
filters, grayscale. Oh, hello.
And you can manage the intensity.
It looks so broken.
It does look broken. Yeah.
Let me try. Oh, so you can have some color, so you could just like fade it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't look good. Okay, I could. You know what? I actually understand immediately. Like, I don't want to use my phone like this.
Yeah.
That it actually like is uncomfortable on my eyes. I actually didn't finish answering a question from earlier on, and this is actually worth answering about like who was it that wrote in about the Apple Watch stuff? Will, and they were like, you change the accessibility settings. And to kind of like bring down liquid glass a little bit. I understand that. I, by and large, like to not do that. Like, considering what I do for a living, I try my best to use the operating system as it is, rather than tweaking it too much, because I feel like I won't be able to talk to what iOS 26 is like to the majority of users if I'm going in there and like changing a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
But I will say, in going through accessibility, I've been going through some accessibility settings recently so I can make the videos for like help videos for Widgetsmith.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stuff in accessibility, and it's really confusing. There's nowhere to go. I mean, I know it's not like quote unquote for me. Like, what I'm trying to do is make a pointer appear, right? So I can use my mouse and
it's a mess.
You can get it to work where it doesn't show the little accessibility thing, like the little assistive touch button, but it's like you're going into like 3 different sub menus to get it set up the way that you want it to. it's great that they have all of this stuff, but it is also fascinating that like the company that hates to put settings in things has this place where there's just like every possible setting.
Which is good, right? Like, they should have those.
I'm not trashing it.
I know.
It's just
I know.
like it is a funny part of iOS where like there is a page that has so many toggles on it. I can't find the one that I want because there's so many.
Yeah. I would argue it could be potentially cleaned up a little bit and reorganized, but
I also think it's like some of the stuff is like not really very clear, right? So in I think his iPhone Pro review, Marquez Brownlee was like, oh, they put PWM dimming in now in the display options.
What?
And I was like, I thought to myself,
what does that
exactly.
mean?
I was like, I don't know what that means. Let me go and look. He seemed excited about that. Maybe it's a cool feature. And it says display pulse smoothing, PWM. And it says disables pulse width modulation to provide a different way to dim the OLED display, which can create a smoother display output at low brightness levels. Disabling PWM can affect low brightness display performance under certain conditions. I don't know what that means. It is off, but it sounds like it should be on, but it's not on. So I don't know what's happening, and I feel like this about a lot of accessibility settings, and maybe it's just because I don't need it. So Zoe says apparently PWM can cause flickering at very low brightness levels. Not everyone is sensitive to it. Like I just don't know. I don't know what that means. You know what I mean?
I'm not sensitive to it, but I'm sensitive to a lot of that sort of thing. Like I don't have promotion on. Maybe the organization's fine. Maybe it's just that it needs clarification. Like I have found over the years, a lot of Apple's sort of like helper text, like under a control. It's like this does this or that. A lot of that could be clarified, I think.
Well, I think it's copywritten to the nth degree is the problem.
And honestly, I think it would not be a bad thing of like they do this in a couple of places, but they should do it in more places. Like here's a couple of sentences that have been thoughtfully written, not by a machine, to explain what this feature is. If you want to really dig deep, tap this link, right? And they do that in some places.
Yeah. Link me out. Like take me to the web.
Yeah, make it more educational. That's one thing, I spent a large amount of time this summer working on a lot of the copy within WidgetSmith and Pedometer. And it's really hard to write good UI copy. And I'm not saying I'm good at it. Like, I'm just trying to move the ball forward some. But a lot of these things in iOS are so complicated now. I think it would be worth revisiting it.
Yeah, I mean, I have empathy for it because I agree. Like I've had to say and suggest some things that I'm not convinced are that clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a way to describe how to copy themes from one widget to another, but I don't know if people can actually understand what I'm trying to get at based on what I've said.
Sure.
But then also we made a video to show people how to do it, right? Like
that's true.
Right, but like that's the way you solve a situation like this, I think. Of like 3 sentences is not necessarily the best way to describe something that is complicated.
Well, like the screen we're looking at right now, like it changes, like you change the button and it changes, and they have the row of crayons up there to give you like real feedback. Like, oh, this is the toggle I wanted for my situation, right?
This is a good piece of UI.
It
right?
is.
Like in this link in the show notes, right? Where you can see in real time what pressing all these buttons does. Like this is good UI. And I don't want to be that guy, but I think like this is old UI and that's why it's good. Right? Like
it's been in there.
It comes from a different time. And like and also it's also had the benefit of time. Mm-hmm. Right? That like they've been able to make this better, I'm sure, over time. So to really like, I think that is actually a good example of how these accessibility things should be presented, is that you're seeing in real time what the setting does. Like another one that is really good, like it makes it, VoiceOver has a tutorial that you can tap a button and it will give you a tutorial about how to use VoiceOver and like what's going on there. Obviously incredibly important for VoiceOver because people who need VoiceOver can maybe not even see the screen that you're trying to explain it on, right? So you kind of you have to provide another method to show people how to use it,
Yeah.
because you have to describe it to them potentially, rather than depending on how bad the vision situation is that they're dealing with. But I feel like just some of these, and look, the more I'm digging through it, all right, there are places where they're doing this. So I've tapped into eye tracking, and it says learn more, right? There's like a learn more button, and then it brings up a big sheet where it explains stuff. Like there are places where they're doing this, but it is needed in, I think, kind of a lot of places. I'm actually going to be very fair to Apple here that there are a lot of learn more links in when you dig into accessibility settings, and maybe we've just picked on one specifically, but I do think like the display scenario, the display settings, there's a lot of situations where they're just like, you just turn this on, turn it off.
I just found a wild bug in 2601, at least on the iPhone Air, which is what I have in front of me right now. I put a video of it in the Discord. The video looks better than it does in real life, but turning reduced transparency off makes the screen like low resolution, like blocky, like not Retina. Don't know what's going on there. Someone should look at that.
I'm doing it on my phone and it's not happening. Let me just look at your video.
What
yeah, that's weird. What's happening there?
I don't know. I can't get it not block is 2601.
So yeah, like you're turning on reduced transparency was on. When you turn it off, everything's blurry.
Yeah.
Maybe they just added full transparency over the entire screen. There's just like a very thin transparent layer that's over the entire screen.
Yeah. Like I'm restarting the phone to see if it fixes it, because going to the lock screen did not.
This might be one of these things that like you've got like a stacking set of accessibility options that are interactive with each other poorly.
The only one I know is on is reduce motion, or not that one. The lock at 60 hertz, whatever that one's called.
Well, you just turned off ProMotion, right?
ProMotion.
Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. I'm anti-motion.
You mentioned you had the Air in your hand. Why'd you have the iPhone Air in your hand? Are you using the iPhone Air
because
now?
all of my data and eSIM are on it at the moment.
All of your eSIM. That's good.
All of my data, comma, and my eSIM, comma,
Yep.
are on this phone.
Yep.
I love this phone so much. Here's the thing. I know the iPhone Pro is the right phone for me. Battery life, cameras, design, color. But I pick up the iPhone Air because I have both, and my return window ends Saturday. I was going to make a decision. I don't need both because I've got other phones in my testing fleet, like several. But I had my data on the Pro for 4 or 5 days with my eSIM in it. Moved the eSIM to the Air for 4 or 5 days. And I want to keep it on the Air. I really like this phone. Is it hot when I just picked it up because it's been charging? Yes. Like, was the camera really bad at a kids cross country meet yesterday because I couldn't zoom? Yes. Am I hitting low power mode every evening? Yes. But I kind of don't care about those things when I pick it up. So that's a problem. It's a big problem.
Huh. So, all right. I'm also using one every day, but it's not my main phone.
Right.
It's my work phone, right? So it's a secondary device to me. Because of that, I have none of the downside. I have no downside.
And I should clarify, because I was doing the work personal phone thing, and then I sort of folded them back together, and I could untangle them again, but at this point, it's all back on one phone. So
okay, so you're back on one phone. I stuck with two phones. Yeah. It is working really well for me.
And I do have like other phones for like testing, and you and I both have phones that have like no personal data on them, because when you're trying to like do like content work for Widgetsmith, you don't want like the pictures of your kids.
Well, the Air is that for me.
Right.
So my iPhone Air is set up with a new iCloud account, which I added to my family.
Yeah, mine's a 15 Pro that I had kicking around.
and I am able to still sign in to all of the services that I need. Like I can sign in to Slack and all that kind of stuff, right? Like it doesn't matter what device it's on, and I can just keep them all off the home, keep every app off the home screen, which is what I'm doing. And it means I don't have photos, I don't have calendar stuff signed in the calendar app, like all that. I'm able to kind of keep it pretty siloed, even though I can still use it as a work device. But really, what I needed was just to not have the iCloud stuff popping in. That was the issue that I was having with some of the stuff that I was doing before. I have downloaded Slack on my personal phone again just to sign into the cross-forward Slack, just because that situation is a little bit different than the other Slacks that I'm in.
Sure.
I think it's a little bit more responsible for where I'm at right now with that, as I'm still trying to learn that one out. But everything else, something I've done too, which is I'm so happy about. So one of the main frustrations I had was if I would see a link on my Pixel Fold that I would want to add to my show notes for my shows, I didn't really have a way to deal with that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, great. When I'm on the iPhone, I'll be able to do it. And I'm like, oh, no, but I'm not signed into my iCloud account, so I don't get my notes, right? But I shared the note with myself.
Genius.
So I'm collaborating with myself on these Apple Notes. So now I can put that stuff into the notes for the shows. So that is very helpful for me because I'm very excited about that. But I have none of the downside. So I'm only using my iPhone Air for a few hours a day. So the battery life is amazing. I charge it maybe once every 2 or 3 days because of that.
Yeah, you're not doing that if it's your main phone, buddy. You're just not doing it.
The camera I don't need.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, right? Like I am not recommending that other people live their life this way, but if you do live your life this way, that you have a work phone and a personal phone, the iPhone Air is a really good phone to do it with because it actually becomes more enjoyable to use because I'm moving between phones. So I think maybe have the experience of the lightness and the thinness more often, right? Because I'm moving between them. It's very funny. When if I'm using my Air for a bit and I pick up my Pro, it kind of feels like I'm grabbing a Walkman. It's like how it feels. It feels like unbelievably thick.
And it feels, here's the other thing. Two things on the physicality. The buttons are way better on the Air. Like they're clickier. Maybe it's just my Pro, but like the sleep wake button on my iPhone Pro is like oatmeal. It's super mushy. Like to the point where like I pick my phone up and sometimes it's just sitting in the like Apple Pay screen because it thinks it's been held down.
Something's wrong with your profile.
Yeah, I may
mine ain't like that.
I may swap that out.
Button gate.
But what was the other thing? The other thing is I was talking to Jason about this. Like it does feel like the Pro feels thick in comparison to the Air. But the thing that I was surprised by a little bit is the screen feels smaller, which it is. Like using the Air for an extended period of time, going back to the Pro feels cramped. And I don't like that thought because then my brain's like, maybe I need a Pro Max, which I don't want. So I got to contend with that too.
Yeah, that is actually like the screen size is weird for me. Like the bigger screen size is like it feels odd sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like actually a bigger phone. Like I'm not used to that anymore. It's weird. It's like, oh, I can't reach that. Why can't I reach that? Oh, it's a bigger screen because it's so thin and light. I forget it's big. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really like the screen size on the Air. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to keep both. I don't need both. And I got till Saturday. So we'll see.
Why don't you want to keep both?
I don't need both. And
Sure you do.
I would like $1,000 back.
Sure you do. Sure you need them. Why don't you need them?
I mean, if I were going to go back to the work phone, personal phone, I would. But that led to a lot of complications, especially like in the morning, because I get to work about 8 after kids are at school and stuff. But everyone I work with is in the UK, who I work with on a daily basis, right? Like Sparks and I aren't talking every day about Mac Power users, and he's in California, so this isn't an issue. But the people I work with daily are in the UK, and I it is helpful to me and everyone else that I at least check in early in the morning before I'm quote unquote at work. And when I had the work phone, it would be on my desk, and I'd pick it up when I was at work, or I'd leave it behind on a Saturday. And like, I couldn't find the balance of being accessible when I needed to be, but also the benefits of like leaving the work phone behind. And I'd never struck that balance. And maybe it needed more time because I did it for 3 or 4 months. Maybe it needed more time, but I couldn't get it right. And most of the time I just found myself carrying 2 phones, which is different when you work for a big organization, right? Where like you have your corporate apps and you can't sign into your stuff on your personal phone. And like, I don't have any of those limitations, right? There are no chains on me, as a wise man once said.
Kind of are. There's some chains.
Yeah.
And more chains.
To the UK. So,
yes.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, if it's just my heart, I would use the iPhone Air for a year. But even in the week or so that I've been doing that, I run into the limitations. And like at this cross country meet, one of my kids was running in. Like, it would have been really great to have better pictures of that, but I couldn't because I only had the one camera and they were kind of far away. And like, that stinks. So I may just need to let it go and be a pro guy.
But it makes you sound so sad.
Which is ridiculous because the Pro's a great phone. Like, I love the way it looks. I love the design. The orange is sick. Although I do understand why people would think it would be a lot to deal with every day. Like, last week my stuff was on the iPhone Pro, and I was at a meeting and I pulled it out and sat it on the table with some stuff, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" It's like, okay, like, I know it's new, but it is brightly colored. It does draw attention. So I don't know. Really, the perfect iPhone would be silver with orange accents. We were talking about this in Discord the other day. Like, what if the buttons were orange, like the Pixel used to do? Like, that would be, Apple Watch Ultra, the design. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm looking at the back of my phone right now, and I'll share with you the thing that makes me sad. So I use a magnetic pop socket, right?
Mm-hmm.
The top edge of the pop socket is like a millimeter or so to goes over the border between the glass and the metal. And so like it just doesn't look perfect, you know what I mean? Not happy about that. You use a case of the Air?
No.
Good.
Although I would want one for bike rides, and because I've got the Peak Design mount on all my bikes, and I can just put the phone on there and they can use the bike workout UI, which is actually really, really nice. No one seems to have made cases for the Air yet.
I was just about to ask you that question if you didn't bring it up. Yeah, that's interesting that no one was sure about that one.
Yeah, but everyone had iPhone 17 Pro cases like locked and loaded for launch. So maybe they will come out. I think Nomad, because I just looked yesterday actually in advance of this. So Nomad has an iPhone Air case. I'm going to put this in Discord. No offense, Nomad. Like, I love your products. This ain't it. Like, this looks real bad. Take a look at that thing. Look at it from the side. The whole side is cut out. It's like a leather sheet on the back that grips the top and bottom of the phone. I don't like it.
Oh, no. They've made the worst possible case you could make.
I think so.
Like, what are they trying to achieve with this case?
I don't know.
Like, what is this? What are they trying to do here? Maintains the form factor. How?
Put sides on it. Just make a regular thin case so people want it.
Yeah, I don't know what this product is doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why is it like this?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It seems to provide no benefit that I can see.
Yeah. And there's not any iPhone Air stuff on Peak Design's site yet. But yeah, I mean, the phone is light enough and nice enough. I would not use it with a case, but I would like the option on occasion. Sometimes it is useful to have your phone in a case. My 16 Pro lived basically its whole life in the case. So yeah, we'll see. I think, I don't know, maybe I don't want to keep both, but maybe that's what happens.
You'd still have to make a decision though, even if you kept both.
In 2 days. Well, yes, I would. And maybe the Air can like stay in my life, but the Pro is my daily. Because like the Pro is a better phone for me in every way, except for the way that I feel when I pick it up. In examining this, I pulled an iPhone 10 out of the drawer.
Okay.
And I've been working on my review, and there's a section in my review that talks about like this is like the successor to the iPhone 10, right? Because it was the first one with Face ID and like the new design. And like the iPhone 10, man, was perfect. Like this phone, I've got it right here. It's so nice. It was before the stainless steel rails got a bit played. It's the right size. It's thinner than I remember it. Like I kind of forgotten that from the 10 until now, the phones have gotten thicker. And that comes with features. Like I'm not complaining. I understand why it's that way. But I kind of forgotten how thin the 10 is. Man, the 10 was it was so good.
I have no concept for how thin it was. Like what else is that kind of thinness?
Let me see what I have here. It's noticeably thinner than the 15 Pro that I have here.
Okay.
Like you can run your finger over them and like feel the bump where the 15 Pro is. So
I'm on the Apple website and it says the width. No, the depth is 7.7 millimeters.
Man, so good. And like it aged, like this one nice thing about the stainless steel is like it aged nicely. Like
it was a good design.
This one's all kind of banged up, and it looks cool banged up.
Man, it's incredible to look at the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 17 side by side in an image.
Mm-hmm.
Because the iPhone 17 also has the 2 vertical cameras.
Yeah.
And like the camera size difference is truly incredible. Like
it is.
I'll send you a picture, but you can look it on there.
I saw a thing on social media I think yesterday at some point. It was a picture of an iPhone 11 Pro, and it was like, this phone looks like AI now because the camera bump is like shoved way in the corner. And at the time was huge, right? That was the first 3-camera phone, but just so adorable.
Yeah, it looks wrong
compared to what we have now.
It looks wrong. Like even compared to the 15 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of looks like a bad Photoshop of a phone.
Yeah, it does.
It's like when someone tries to put a phone in an ad in it because they don't want to put like an iPhone in it or whatever, and they just kind of like remove some details and like change some stuff around.
Precisely.
iPhone Air rules though. Like it's the best new iPhone in a long time. It's just not perfect iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's actually new. It's like a new thing. I think it's going to do really well. I think it's just going to take time.
Yeah.
I think people need to see it and experience it and go through the torment that you're going through before they could consider buying it.
Maybe I carry my super thin, light iPhone Air, but also a camera and take real pictures. That's
interesting.
That's the solution.
It's
not.
It is a solution.
It's not a good one.
No. And an iPod as well. Take one of those with you.
These are not one item. They are 3 items. We call it too much stuff.
Yeah, and a battery. You need a battery too.
That's true. So yeah, we'll tune in to see where I end up, I guess.
Gripping.
Not without a case. Because case makes the phone. Okay, we're done. Thank you so much for listening to Connected. If you love the podcast and want more of it, check out Connected Pro, which is the longer and ad-free version of the show that we do each and every week. We do a section at the top of the show. We pick titles after the show. No ads. It's awesome. You also get access to the Relay Discord, a newsletter, and a bunch of other great things. There's a link in the show notes about that. We are winding down our St. Jude campaign. It is open for a few more days. So if you are able to donate and haven't gotten around to it yet, please go to stjude.org/relay. We've already smashed our goal, which is awesome. Thank you all for your support once again. It means so much every year that we get to do this. If you want to find more of Myke, he hosts many shows on Relay. He hasn't guested on as many shows as some of us, but, he's on a few. And you can check out his work at Cortex Brand and read his blog at theenthusiast.net. Anything else? Find you on, walking around London?
I'm around, man.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah. He's just hanging out. Just look outside your window right now. He's there.
Maybe I'm there.
Maybe he's there. You can find my writing at 512pixels.net, and I co-host Mac Power Users here on Relay each and every Sunday. This Sunday is our Mac OS Tahoe conversation. I think it was a good one. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Squarespace and Fitbod. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Myke, for recording. And I don't know. I'll see you next time. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, y'all.